From the clouds of the highest mountains, from the corners of the earth, two men have traveled leagues to bring you. Welcome to the Eagle Boys, Drew Ladd and Nick Huber. Overkill.
We're back.
Yeah, and we have matching hats.
We do have matching hats, actually.
Yeah.
You know what? Should I get the one that's actually matching, like literally the exact same hat out of my car?
Oh, yeah, please, yeah.
Oh, shit. We just started, but we'll be right back.
Yeah, we should get matching sweatshirts and stuff, too.
We should get a sponsorship from them. That's what
From
we
Hop-
Yeah.
that's what we should.
Maybe we could.
We wear their hats in here all the time.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah, no, I think...
Let me talk to Kim.
Or we can go straight to the source. We can go right to Mark.
Yeah.
We'd have to get him fucked up for like what if we're just like $300 a month. We'll like something really low, you know?
I don't know if he'd bite for 300.
200.
He might for 200. I think he'd probably try to negotiate down to 100, and that's when we hit back with 175. He drops to 150. Boom.
150. That's not bad for. I mean, we're not making shit, so like, it's better than nothing.
It would be a good jumping, and we'd be advertising for him. So.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's what I just said. I said the exact same hat.
Yeah.
There we go.
I didn't know it would be like exact.
I said the
same.
exact same hat.
This is nice. I like it.
This is nice. We're a couple cool guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're a couple cool guys. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Eagle Boys. Today, we're back at it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're fucking back at it. Matching hats.
Fucking matching hats, bunch of dipshits.
It's
Look
beautiful.
at us. Jesus Christ. Will, how you doing over there, man? Good? Fuck yeah, he is. As you can see, we got a mic set up. Today, we have a special guest joining us.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, who is our special guest joining us today?
Michael Yater.
Michael Yater is going to be joining us. He's a men's health advocate. Very interesting man. Pretty cool guy, if you ask me.
He's definitely one of a kind.
I've never met him, so...
He's definitely one of a kind.
He's a character. He's going to be a character. So he's going to be coming on today. But first, Drew, I got something I want to show you.
Okay.
I think you're going to really enjoy it.
Okay.
I really, really think you're going to enjoy this. I got shown this video like today. No, it was 2 days ago.
What's that? Dos Equis.
The most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, he's like,
Dos Equis.
you're gonna
Stay
like
thirsty,
this.
my friends.
You're gonna like this if you try it. Or
No, he said, "Stay thirsty, my friends."
no, he says something else.
You're thinking of the Men's Warehouse thing.
You're gonna
like the way you look. I guarantee.
I don't know why I was thinking of the Dos Equis.
You're gonna
guy.
like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Same
So,
vibes.
this video is pretty cool. As you can see, we have Donald Trump shirtless for some reason. So let's get into this. Let's see what we got.
This is America. Don't get you slipping now.
Oh my god.
Look at that fucking gut they put on him.
This is America.
What the fuck?
And Venezuelan president.
Fucking tracks. This is America. Don't get you slipping now.
All the oil.
Look how I'm living now.
Oh my god. I'm trying to look at his face, but his stomach's strong.
Dude, it's just mesmerizing, dude.
I got the strap.
Like, dude, AI's got the jiggle physics now.
Yeah. No, it's nice. It's a nice jiggle.
Yeah, I'ma go get the bag.
Oh my
He
god.
puts a gun to the back. It's a smart gun.
I love how his body is so pale.
Dude. Friggin' JD Vance and his wife Ivanka behind him.
Oh, this is great. This might be the best thing I've ever seen.
Like, dude, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that really nice way to start the episode right there?
I think it was coming, like doing like AI, videos of Trump. It was.
Oh, that was bad. That would been happening.
They should do one of Obama, but he's doing like sweet or like what's that song called?
Sweet Caroline.
No. Alabama.
Sweet home Alabama.
I was drawing a blank.
Sweet home Alabama. Where the skies are so blue. with this thing and everything. Where the skies are so blue.
Yeah.
Sweet home Alabama.
So okay. So I know I called you. So okay, I'll just tell Will.
Shit.
I called Will.
Do we really want to bring this up?
Yeah.
I think, okay. All right.
I think I need to.
All right.
Do you think it's
right.
bad?
No. Well, yeah, but no.
But like, how bad do you think it's okay?
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Okay, I'm gonna say it, and then if I feel
Can I say it?
if I feel different about it later, then I'll cut it out. But
Can I say
here we go.
it?
So I went on a date with a German girl, right?
Yeah.
And she had like a thick, heavy German accent. And we got into talk.
Dick. You know what I'm saying?
But no, she was very nice. She was very German girls are very straightforward. She told me she didn't like my beard. And I was like, okay. And but then we just kept talking.
So
like it was,
you know what? A lot of this is making sense now because like she came off the rip. Like he already told me this story last night. But like off the rip, if she's like just roasting you for your beard, yeah, I can see why you went full nuclear on this.
and she told me my hair was messy.
Yeah, I can. Okay, now I fully understand why you went full nuclear on this.
Other than that, she was fine. I mean, we had a nice conversation. It was just like, you know, I could have said some things about her.
You did say something.
Yeah, but not about her.
Okay, yeah. That's
so
fair. That's fair.
you know,
That's fair.
we're talking, and I was like, so like when they talk, they don't. Oh, this is another thing I was going to tell you. They don't get a lot of our phrases that we say. So I think at one point I was like, "Oh, I don't think you're that type," and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "I don't think you're that type," and she was like, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean?
And I was like,
You're like,
like I don't think you're that type of person.
I don't think you're that type. I don't know.
It was kind of hard to explain, and I was like, when you say you're not that type, you're saying I don't think that's who you are.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, okay." And then
that's like one of those situations where you're trying to explain why you're mad, but you can't explain why you're mad.
There was another one
because you can't fucking do that. You know, with the goddamn shut up. Like, you know, basically like that.
Oh, and I wrote down odd one.
Odd one. The fuck are you talking about?
I think I said that's an odd one, and she didn't understand what I was saying.
She didn't understand that.
Yeah,
it's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it like I've looked into this before. We are apparently one of the most confusing languages just because of our slang.
Apparently,
our base language is super easy to understand.
Yeah, it's like really hard to understand our language.
But now, because of all the slang, it's very hard to understand.
Oh yeah, it's probably harder than it was. Yeah. I think English is the hardest language to learn.
That's why, like, when people come from overseas and we say that they speak like broken English, like sometimes they do, but like usually they're speaking perfect, proper English, but we don't understand it that well just because we say it with so much slang.
Right. I think they learn British. Or is it
get a little spot of tea?
Is it English?
Yeah.
Or is it British English?
There's American English and then there's UK English.
It's UK English.
Right.
Because there's also
you fucking twat.
There's also old English.
Yeah.
Which nobody speaks.
Yeah, nobody speaks that. It's just like Latin. Nobody speaks that.
But so apparently it's really hard for people to come over here and get work visas.
Yes. I just had one of my buddies have to get shipped back conveniently to the UK because he couldn't get a visa.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
They
wouldn't extend his visa is what happened. He got one.
I wonder why.
But they wouldn't extend it.
Why is Trump making it so hard to even work here?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Can we look that up? Why is there...
As Trump is
there he is right
shirtless on our fucking screen right there.
Why is it harder to get a work visa?
See, I think what it really breaks down to is that the administration doesn't want to take away jobs from Americans, like registered Americans. So why would they give visas to people coming in from out of the country?
Because like H-1Bs, like they lowered the cap significantly.
Oh, they did?
They only want like a certain type of like either doctors, lawyers, or actually manufacturing is really high demand from other countries.
Well, that's why P&G they outsource a shitload of their work. You know?
Yeah, so I don't...
Well, not only outsource, like, dude, they'll bring people in from other countries to work. You know what I mean?
But if you're a social worker, you probably can't get in here.
No, probably.
You have to be like
If you're like a
doctor.
therapist or something, no, then they
Mhm.
ain't gonna let you in.
Something with maybe
You know, that's got to, from what Will was saying, I think it has to do with the demand of whatever type of work that you do.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if you're a scientist, an engineer, something like that, then yeah, they're going to outsource you and bring you in
Mhm.
to the United States. Now, you have to get it, you have to get your visas to do that, which by the way, I got a really fucked up story about that. But yeah, that's why like a bunch of these apartment that's why around here specifically, like because P&G is headquartered here, why those apartment complexes are showing up everywhere.
Mm.
And that's largely due to the amount of people that are coming into our country and working here on visas for companies like GE, P&G, you know, all those big companies like that. So what they do is they give you a visa, they set you up in these apartment complexes, you work there for a few years, and they send you right back. That's exactly what happens.
I think it's easier to get a college education in other countries.
Well,
right?
Yes and no.
Because the government pays for it. Like, I don't think you have to pay to go to college if you live
Not
in
in
Germany.
like a third world country, dude. They don't even have them.
Well, what's crazy is so
They do.
They do?
Yeah, they're kind of like UK where the finishing school is free, but
Okay.
it's not as. I mean, I would.
It's
argue,
not as advanced.
I would argue that America isn't that advanced, but that's another
Well,
subject.
so here's the thing. Here's the thing about the educational system in our country, right? So we're a free market country, right? Where anybody can go out and make money however they see fit.
Yeah.
And these people saw commodities in education. People thought, okay, people want an education so bad. Are you willing to pay for it? And then they got one person. That's all it took. One person to say yes. And then everybody else did it.
yeah.
You know, because turn the clocks back a little bit. What if Harvard University was a free university? Nowhere else would charge ever in history.
You don't think so?
No, fuck no. And if they did, nobody would go.
I don't know if that's true though. I think eventually another school would.
Well, I'm saying like if you still had the same high standards that Harvard is
Mhm.
or held at, I guess, and they weren't charging a dime for it, then, you know, why would I go to UC and pay, you know, upwards of $15,000 when I can go to the most prestigious university in the country and not pay a dime?
Well, not that many people can go to Harvard. It's a small school, right? Or is it big? Do you know?
I mean, it's a bigger school, but like their acceptance rate is very small.
Yeah.
It's a smaller school. All the Ivies are smaller.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ivies definitely are smaller just because of their acceptance rate being smaller.
Yale.
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 Fucking stupid.
If I Wait,
College sucks.
this is something
That's all I'm
random
gonna
that I
say about
learned,
it.
but when Saddam Hussein was running Iraq or Iran?
Iraq?
Iraq.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Iraq.
He
The Soleimani's the leader of Iran right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
he gave everyone free health care. He would pay for your education. Like,
Queer books.
He he actually ran a pretty good country.
He was a guy to go
He
fishing
was
with.
a guy to go fishing with. But our government then kicked him out.
I didn't finish what I was saying earlier. Oh my
I
god.
wish I had to get the rocks.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
But I remember when I was living at the Arbors, right? There was an Indian couple that lived in our building before us, before we moved in there.
Did it smell?
No, it did not. Now the hallways did. The hallways did. They smelled like curry. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we got mailed their visas and they never got them. I didn't open it because obviously that's a crime, but it was from the federal government. It was from immigration, and it felt like there were 4 plastic cards
Mhm.
on the inside of it.
You're right.
And I was like, holy shit, we got shipped these people's visas.
Were they gone by that point?
Oh yeah, they were gone.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that was the thing, is that we had been living there for like a year at this point. And obviously, you live in an apartment complex, you're going to get somebody else's mail every now and again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like 99% certain that we got mailed their visas and they never got them. They never got them because I turned it in.
That would be rough then you would have to explain to the federal government, like, hey, we don't have them anymore. Sorry.
Yeah, like how do you explain that? Oh, that we just never got them. Well, it says right here that we shipped them. You know what I mean?
That
Like,
sounds
it's
like it would be
crazy.
hard because they probably can't just ship out a bunch of those.
No, you
know?
can't just ship those fuckers out.
Yeah.
Especially like actual federal IDs like that. You ain't shipping that out.
And you're probably fucked.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so did they move back to India or
I don't know.
they just moved?
I don't know. They didn't live there anymore.
Yeah.
That's all I knew.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, what I'm getting at is that we kept it for a little bit there by accident. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it got put in our pile and we were like, yeah, we'll take it up to the front office, whatever. Like a year goes by, we find him again. And we're just like, oh, fuck, we never gave that to the front office.
Damn.
So we ended up doing it at the very end when we moved out. We were like, yeah, here's all the fucking mail that we got that wasn't ours. See ya.
That seems kind of skep, like you didn't want them to like get them back. I'm just doing my part as an
American citizen. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump president.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? Crazy shit.
What else did you pull up, Will? Let's see what you got. Because
That's
now
some crazy shit.
I don't think I've ever been in a situation where this is good.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Segways are weird.
Nate, you're gonna like this.
No, this is a bike.
I like bikes.
Yeah.
Why does that guy look like a tomato?
Oh, God damn it!
It's really a tomato. Oh my god. I've done that, dude. That hurts so bad. Falling off a bike and sliding.
Yeah, that would suck, dude.
Can we watch it one more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the dude, the guy looks like he's about ready
Is
to
it-
burst. Like, look at his arms; they're
Wait.
like beet red.
Is it turned up all the way?
Yeah.
Like on your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, God damn it!
Oh,
Look at that.
fuck.
Dude, look at that.
Oh, that's so fucked. Oh, God. No, it reminds me of the time that I've fallen off my bikes and that's the thing, dude. He just like kept sliding.
Oh shit.
He kept sliding, dude. Like
I was thinking in my head when I sent this, I was like, I wonder if the boys are gonna like this one.
you wonder if we're gonna like watching a guy fall off a bike. Yes, we enjoyed it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'm saying?
Good. I think by now I know what you guys like.
Honestly, this might be like a really fucked up thing. I find it hilarious when people like fall. Like, it's just funny to me.
I think as long as they're not dead or like brain.
Yeah, as long as it's not like a
Yeah.
lethal fall. If you're just like walking and you just fucking trip and fall, yeah, I'm laughing my ass off.
Do you think it's their
Yep.
reaction to falling that's funny, or it's their pain that's funny?
No, it's kind of like just the pure ungracefulness of just falling.
This is kind of fucked up, but I think like him, like the pain.
Like,
It's funny to
okay,
me, you
watching
know?
a
Is that
girl,
fucked up?
watching a girl in that. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Is it?
That's a little fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, sorry.
That's a little fucked up.
I'll keep those thoughts to myself. My bad.
I think it's funny, like when like you see a lady like walking a really nice dress, she's like done up and shit, but got these long ass fucking heels on for no fucking reason,
Mhm.
and then she just buckles her ankle and just fucking falls to the floor. Funniest shit ever. Not gonna lie
Yeah,
to you.
that's a good one. It's kind of like the act of it happening. Like,
Yeah,
the
like-
fact that she wobbled, haha.
because like
You dumb
like
bitch.
white bitches, like when they got their big ass heels on, a really nice like sequin dress or some shit, they're like trying to fucking, you know what I mean, like trying to look good, and then just boom, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just buckled that ankle, fully broke that shit,
Yeah.
and they just fall to the ground, and you're just like, that's what you get, you dumb bitch. Like,
So
yeah, thank you, Will, thank you,
I was on.
thank you.
There's some girls on dating apps that are missing limbs. Like there's people out there,
Yeah, I've seen a few.
And
Well, when I was on the dating apps, I saw though.
I think to myself though, what do you think it would be like to do it with a girl that had missing one or two legs?
Missing one leg would make it entirely too easy.
You think so?
Yeah,
Like easier than
Easy.
having two legs?
easy.
Yeah.
Think about no legs.
Because you only have to put one over your shoulder, dog.
Think about no legs.
Yeah, no legs.
No legs, that'd be crazy.
It's like you're fucking a tube.
he ain't got no legs.
Or like a hot dog.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
The upper half of Grievous.
You know what else I thought of? Like, what if you dated a girl who was like missing a full finger or something?
Yeah.
But like not like it got cut off, like she just wasn't born with it.
Oh.
Like I
Okay.
saw a lady one time on a dating app that had 3 fingers literally.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally her hand looked like this.
Oh.
Like I'm not even kidding. And I thought that was the funniest thing in the world, but also she was so funny about it because she was just like, oh, what did her bio say? It's something to do with Guitar Hero. Oh, I remember what she said. She said, and to answer your question, yes, 3 fingers makes Guitar Hero incredibly easy.
I went on a date.
And I was like, actually, that's funny.
Right.
Like, that's funny.
No, that makes perfect sense. But I went on a date with a girl one time that had, I think, 1 finger on her left hand and like 2 on her right hand.
And that was it.
And that was it. I don't even know how she drove. Yeah, she had to like wrap her whole
You know what I'm saying?
finger around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Both palms, I guess. You could.
But
She just fucking,
so we go out in the parking lot and
I don't know.
you know, we start making out and stuff.
And she's like,
Well, I didn't even notice
with her
it.
2 fingers just, you know what
I
I mean?
didn't even notice it at first. She walked in. She was very pretty. She actually was pretty. No, for like 30 minutes, I didn't even notice it. And then,
Oh, you could figure it out.
no, I
Sorry.
couldn't. You crazy
Go on.
guy.
Couldn't figure it out.
Go on.
But
Fucking Will with the zingers. I love it.
we went to play pool. And that's when I noticed it because she went to grab that fucking pool
She
stick.
fucking ding.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh damn. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, whatever. She's nice and it's and you know she's
She's
cute,
cool, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
So
Like, she
we-
only got, he ain't got no legs. But
I didn't think it was that bad until we got out to the parking lot and we were like making out and she put that claw on my face, dude. And then
like, because girls be like, you know, touching your face or like back of your neck or something like
Yeah.
that. And then you just feel 2 fingers
Mhm.
only just fucking, you know what I mean? You're just
Yeah.
like,
Did it feel like you were making out with Arbiter?
a little bit, yeah.
I was actually going to bring that up. What did she go like, wart,
Well,
wart?
dude,
Oh, chief.
Hold on.
when she so like we got in the car and we started making out more. Well, dude, she put her hand on.
She touched it.
Yeah,
What was it?
yeah. The Halo
Was
music
it
started
literally?
playing.
Oh.
Well, I had to stop. I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. It was just too weird for me. I don't know. You think you could do it, or it's not that big
You
of a
think
deal
in theory that you'd be
until
able to
you
get that
get
done
in the situation, and you're like, and then it hits you, and you're like, man,
until you get there. Yeah.
yeah. And I fully support anyone with like a disability. I'm not.
You show more support than anybody. You
Yeah.
dated a girl with a disability, so
Well, it was one date.
I mean, but still,
Yeah, I gave her a
you
nice
saw no
night.
prejudice.
Yeah.
You had no
I
prejudice.
hope she found love.
I do hope
yeah.
she found love, and I hope that guy's missing a few toes.
That
That's
would
what
be
I missed.
perfect.
That's what I hope for.
That'd be awesome.
Like he's got hoof toes or
What if
something.
he has the fingers she doesn't?
Oh,
That would be
They
awesome.
could just like hold hands.
Yeah, they'd be
Yeah.
the perfect. Like, talk about a match made in literal botched heaven. Like you know, what I mean?
Botched heaven.
Like
It was truly God's plan.
God's plan. Play Drake for me. God's plan. God's plan.
Yeah, God's plan.
I feel good sometimes I don't. Hey.
Wait, no, we can't play Drake's song on the podcast.
No, I was totally kidding. Don't play that shit.
What else do we have?
Punk got hit by a car, hit by
one
post
time, I
clarity.
decided to try the lotion thing out. And I remember after I was done, after I busted the nut, right? I'm looking down at myself. There's this mess, just lotion. My hands are fucking lotioned. And I'm just thinking, what a fucking miserable, depressing loser I am, right? Like, what am I
Been there.
doing? Like, what the fuck am I doing? So I'm a dry jacker, right? I don't use lotion. I don't use lube.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it?
That was it.
Dude literally got post-nut clarity and just did a podcast episode. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about how much of a piece of shit he is.
Yeah. I just thought maybe, I don't know, maybe. we
Okay,
could,
but
like-
let's talk about how real post-nut clarity is,
There
dude.
we go. Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's kind of weird how your brain tricks you.
Like, dude, there have been times that, like, you know, as soon as
you
I
really
get-
think you like a girl.
oh, you're like convinced you're married.
Yeah,
like
you,
type shit.
You really believe you like.
You know
this
what I mean? And then, dude, you just fap or you just fuck,
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately you just hate yourself.
You hate yourself because now you don't like the girl, but you just did, or you know.
Now, what's amazing is when the post nut hits, and you're still like, yeah, I fuck with her.
yeah, no, that's
When you know it's love.
Yeah, that's when you know you really like someone.
That's when you know it's love.
is after you do it, and you're and the post nut clarity is telling you that.
I thankfully just experienced that
Oh, really?
a few months ago.
Yeah,
So
that's nice.
it was the first time I'd ever experienced just the purest form of post nut. Just where I actually still could look at her.
That's going to be the name of the
Afterwards.
episode.
Clearest post nut ever.
The clearest post nut.
No, it really was. It was actually kind of a sobering feeling. Like being able to like nut and then be like, yeah, I actually still want you to stick around.
I think this one's going to get me
Like,
fired.
you know what I mean? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
But this is
Probably.
So
Not really. Probably.
I found out today that I am getting hired on. I'm getting a $5 raise.
Oh, fuck yeah, you are moving
Yeah.
up in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You dig.
Which I basically, let me think. I basically am only making the same amount as I did before because I'm going to move out.
My post nut clarity's hitting you now.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
to see it.
I actually,
I'm proud of you.
thanks. Appreciate
Shame,
it.
that's not an accomplishment.
proud of you.
I said that so like actually.
Just actually, you know what's better than all you because I didn't fucking jerk off today. How about that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you, dude. Like, dude. But again, post nut clarity is the craziest. It's the craziest feeling in the world, dude. You'll get out of post nut clarity, and
I think a lot of younger guys these days are having a hard time.
get it a hard time.
They are having a hard time.
Well, I think a lot of the younger guys are moving back to Christianity. They're going back to
Well, not only
getting
not
married.
not
I
only
have
that,
heard of that.
Yeah.
but I've actually noticed kind of a trend, and I saw a video the other day that actually kind of blew my mind. I meant to send it to you. A lot of people are trying to disconnect from electronics.
Mhm.
You know, like that's like a huge movement right now. Like I don't know if any one of you had seen it, but like everyone's trying to bring back like 2026 is the new 2016.
We should go Amish.
You know what I mean? Go Amish.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm not going on.
You know the guys
Why
with the beard, no mustache, some bullshit.
Some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Well, no, actually, we'd all have to shave if we went Amish because none of us are married.
Oh, you have to
Oh,
you have to shave if you're not married?
There's no mustaches at all, and you only have a beard, I believe, if you're married.
What is the
Oh.
mustache a sign of the devil or something? Like,
I don't know.
What the fuck is
But I know
up
the
with that?
beard in the Amish community is a signification of marriage.
Maybe it's like a cleanliness thing. I don't know.
Maybe. Or maybe it's like a presentable
I
thing.
think it's a symbolic, presentable thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like you look more classy because you're trying to attract women. But then, you know, as soon as you get married, you don't have to attract anybody. So it doesn't matter what happens.
There was a time that I had an Amish like style because I couldn't grow a mustache, but I could grow a beard.
Same.
Guys with a beard, no mustache, some bullshit.
My sister,
Yeah.
my sister called me Jebediah.
Jebediah. That's diabolical.
Bad.
Shit.
I think for a lot of guys,
I was the neck. I still am the fucking neck beard, dude. Like I couldn't even get anything like this that I have right now is a fucking miracle. Let me tell you that right now. This
no, I
is
remember
a
that.
fucking miracle.
Actually, knowing you like the past 4 or 5
Yeah, because
Wait.
I used to be when you met me, I was clean shaven all the time.
5 years ago.
I was clean shaven
Right?
all the time, and I don't know what clicked. I like turned like 25 or something.
No,
and I was
it-
like, man, fuck this shit. Like I'm not fucking doing that anymore.
It'll be 6 years now
Yes, it
Yeah.
would be 6 years.
because my birthday is
That's correct.
soon.
It's good.
Good.
Oh, yeah, boys, I just turned 32.
Yes, you did.
You
Our
just turned
boy
30?
Will just turned 30. Yeah.
Did I tell you happy birthday?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good.
Good.
Well, happy birthday.
32 years old over here, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Next-
Your birthday's coming up too, right?
When are you 30? Are you 30 this year?
No, I'm about to be 28.
Holy fuck, you are about to be 28. What a young motherfucker. Young boy out here.
I'm out here in the streets.
Can I say it?
I don't know.
Can I say it?
I was like, we can just refer to him as H.
Can I say it?
Yeah, no, I am.
That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Young
Dude,
boy
but
on
like-
the street.
It's crazy how old we're getting out here.
Yeah,
Does anyone else knees hurt?
my arms are heavy. Mama spaghetti.
Knees
we
weak,
know.
arms are heavy as vomit
Vomit on
on
my
my splitter
sweater.
already.
Mama
Mom's spaghetti,
spaghetti,
nervous.
Looking through the surface, right?
On the surface.
Oh, on
But on the surface, he looks calm and ready to drop
Drop bombs.
bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The
this is
whole
where we
crowd
get
goes so
copyright
loud.
strikes. This is where we get
Sorry about
strikes.
that. Sorry about that. Don't sue me. Sorry about that. No free ads. Anyway.
what's the next thing you have?
By the way, no free ads. Comfort sweatpants. Y'all heard of them?
No.
Not an ad, but like, dude, they're all over Instagram and TikTok and shit. The Comfort brand is what it's called. Well, it's just called Comfort, but the brand is called Comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Lady got them for me for Christmas, 2 pairs of sweatpants. I didn't know that there was a perfect sweatpant
Mhm.
until now. Like,
Are
dude,
you wearing them?
not right now, no.
Oh.
I wish. I wear them all the time when I get home.
Mhm.
Like, literally, I just washed one of the pairs last night that I wore last night because I want to make sure I can wear these fuckers at any point that I can. The comfiest, warmest, softest, heaviest sweatpants out there, and they're amazing.
I hope one day they create underwear that you can take a shit in and just like not worry about.
Yeah, it's called a diaper.
No, it's like different than it. Like a futuristic diaper.
It's called a Depend. my friend.
like a Tony Stark, like an Iron Man
like
suit.
just sucks the shit out of you.
yeah.
Just Jarvis, one shit removal, please. Right away, sir.
Or
Ooh, that one was hard.
maybe there's just like some kind of like incinerator, you know, in your pants.
Ew.
You know?
So you want a burning flame next to your pants. Inside of your pants.
Maybe it can just be like thermal heat or something. It just
Oh,
gets
for
real,
fuck's
really hot.
What if
I don't know.
What if they created a portal and then your shit just like appeared in the septic systems?
No, that's the thing. Like, if they were to warp
That'd
it
be a good
away,
idea.
they'd warp
You
it away
don't
to the
need
5th
toilets
dimension.
anymore.
So it would be a dimension just full of people's shit.
You wouldn't need toilets anymore. You fucking ass portals, dude. Shit portals. Oh my god.
Portal all of our shit to the 5th dimension, and the next thing we know, we're gonna have creatures from the 5th dimension
Shit
invade
monsters.
us because we fucking dumped all our shit on top of them. They finally had enough of it. They were like, "We gotta figure out portal travel, my guys.
I'm
Because we
really-
gotta go over there. We gotta fuck these people up."
This is something I'm really into.
You really into this
Yeah. I think we should name this episode Shit Portals.
title? Title right there. Shit portals.
Yeah.
Shit portals or clearest post nut clarity.
Land of the shit.
Land of the shit.
To bring us-
I think shit portals is better.
Brings
Yeah.
it back to pants. Adidas is back.
Adidas been back,
Oh,
dog.
but Adidas sweatpants, the sweatpants they just dropped. I got a couple pair for Christmas, dude. They're so comfy.
You talking about like just the regular 3 stripe on the side?
No, not the track pants. They're cuff bottom sweatpants.
Oh, like they're jogger pants.
they're
Yeah,
like
fuck
loose
yeah.
in the middle. Oh, it's dude. It's
No free ads,
No
motherfucker.
free ads.
No
I-
free ads. Fuck you, Adidas.
I
I'm just
have
kidding.
one pair of joggers, but they're like cloth joggers. They're not like sweatpants. It's if you get something from like
They're like wind pants.
wait, what's wind pants?
Like windbreaker pants, like nylon.
No, they're like cotton, right?
They're cotton.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
they're like
Yeah. Most sweatpants are made out of cotton.
it's like fabric. It's like khakis, but they're
It's all
joggers.
fabric. All
Clothes are fabric. Clothes are fabric.
No, it's like you know, I know I'm being very, very vague. It's like khakis, whatever the fuck khakis are made out of.
Okay, so like the twill is what that's
twill.
called.
Yeah, it's
Like this, like what I got.
yeah. They're
twill.
They're twill
Twill. Yeah.
joggers.
Yeah, I used to wear twill joggers all the time, dude. They're the greatest thing in the world.
I know. I think they're nice
Yeah.
because like you kind of look like maybe
You look a little bit classier, but you're still
Yeah.
technically wearing sweatpants.
you look like someone from the hood that has to show up to court and is like, "This is all I got."
This is all I got.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember one time when I was in a courthouse. Don't ask why.
There's a courthouse right there. What is that?
There was literally a dude in there in khaki joggers and wore a t-shirt and put a clip tie on his fucking t-shirt.
That's so stupid.
I was just like, dude, just wear the fucking t-shirt, dude.
So bad.
Like, why are you gonna embarrass yourself like that? Wear the fucking t-shirt.
And plus,
You know?
it's going to look like you're like mocking the court.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, you're
Yeah.
you're
You
gonna
just
get,
look like
an
a
extra-
jackass at that point.
Yeah, and the judge
Yeah.
is going to be like, "You're a fucking retard."
Speaking of court, what do we got here?
Oh,
The fuck?
sorry.
Did I send this?
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Gosh, I'm as disappointed as you are, Herb.
Yeah, but I went home and began to reevaluate the texts.
You don't say.
And I realized that I'd made some crucial errors.
Well, math is hard.
The actual end of the world is May 19th.
19th, we can't give you the Spring Spectacular free ice cream giveaway.
I misspoke. Yeah, it's May 20th.
That is free.
Ah.
Okay.
I don't remember sending that at all.
I don't get
Did
this.
you guys watch the finale?
No.
No.
Oh,
What is this? Parks and Rec?
this was on your email.
Oh, I don't even
I didn't
remember
send
sending
this.
this. I must have sent the wrong link.
Oh no.
Yeah, say I didn't send this.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
That's a nothing burger.
Well,
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry, boys.
That's fine.
That's a couple cool guy
I-
stuff right there.
I mean, it's my fault.
Hold on, let's move on to this.
Okay, let's try to save it. What we got here?
It says, "Hi all, I am a man who ate a portion of his own amputated leg. Ask me anything." So the quick and dirty, about 2 years ago, I was hit on my motorcycle. They salvaged my foot, but I would never be able to walk on it. I elected to have it amputated. I asked the doctors to keep it. I signed some papers. I got it back, and with the help of some friends, cooked a portion of my tibialis anterior. Proof, foot tacos. More proof, me and my stump.
Stump.
It's hard to read from here.
Edit. I taste like buffalo, but chewier, super beefy. And
Are we gonna ignore the fact that this guy
no, we can't.
ate
ignore it.
himself?
I taste like buffalo, but chewier. I don't know why I sent this. Okay, let's look at the tacos.
I don't know if I want
No,
to.
we're
We
going
have
to,
to.
motherfucker.
We already did this.
No, we're doing it.
He said we're going to, motherfucker.
We're in it now.
Oh fuck.
I don't know about this.
Oh, could not be found.
Oh
He
damn.
deleted
it.
He got
It probably got removed because it's cannibalism.
Here, me and my stump.
That's probably deleted too.
Nah, it's not.
It's just a stump. Okay. Okay.
Damn, he ate his own fucking.
That's so fucked.
His name is Shiny Shart. Oh.
Shiny shart. Incredibly shiny shart.
Mhm.
Oh my
Awesome.
God.
Wow.
Well, that is
Would you guys eat a piece of yourself if you had it available?
no.
If I had to,
I'd put it in a
No.
glass case.
This guy wasn't even doing this for survival.
No, he did it just because he could. That's how you know what? That's how free we are in fucking America. Let's talk about this. That's how fucking free we are in this country.
You can eat your
if
own
you
body.
wanted to eat your own fucking foot that you got amputated off your body, you have the freedom to do that. If I wanted to be a woman tomorrow, I could wake up and do that shit.
Where do you think you couldn't eat yourself at though? Like what country would not? Like China, maybe? I mean, they eat
No,
dogs.
they
though,
eat
right?
dogs.
Yeah, they eat dogs.
They
Yeah.
eat dogs, dude. They don't give
Yeah.
a fuck what they put in their
Oh,
body. Imagine that the doctor, when he was asked, "Can I keep it?" was like,
Yeah.
"Why?"
They
Yeah.
do that all the time. People keep their. They ask. Most doctors will ask if you want to keep it.
I would just tell them to burn it.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Get the fuck rid of it. What is it going to do for me?"
Oh man, this
You
is
know?
rough.
That's why I had you cut it off. I don't want it. That's why I got it cut off. You know?
Do you have a picture of the recovered foot? Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's so fucked.
There was apparently a community interested in devouring human flesh. Would you have sold the remainder to them? Oh my God.
Oh my God, dude. That's what kills me is that, dude, we just had access to a group of cannibals on Reddit.
Why
Like it
do
was
some
nothing.
people like to eat people though? Like, why
Well,
are there
think about Jeffrey
cannibals?
Dahmer.
Yeah, but
Why did Jeffrey Dahmer like to
why
eat
would
people?
you want to do that?
I don't know.
I don't like what gives you the desire to do that when you can just eat beef? Like, why would you? You know what I'm saying?
Some
Like,
people are
I
just
can't think of anything.
Fucked in the head, dude.
Is it like an addiction?
Like, dude, I got nothing. I got nothing. This is the first time I've ever been stumped on this one.
You ever seen Book of Eli?
Stumped. Anyway, Book of Eli?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, have you seen it?
Denzel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good. You have to watch it. It's a good movie.
I've heard of it. I've never
It's
seen
a
it.
post-apocalyptic movie.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's
Speaking of which, Fallout Season 2 is amazing. I don't know if anyone's been
yeah,
watching that.
yeah.
Shit's amazing.
I can't keep.
Did they drop the new episode yesterday?
Yes, it did.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't either.
I haven't watched it yet.
But
I'm
they're
about to
on
go
new-
watch
but
it
they're
tonight.
on new-
You
they're
know
on
what's fucked
Vegas.
is that I'm actually going to go home, watch that newest episode of Fallout, and then I'm going to play Fallout 3. I don't know why. Today, I woke up with the biggest itch imaginable.
I'm gonna play
I don't know
Fallout
what
4.
it was.
I was playing New Vegas last night.
New Vegas last night? Fuck yeah.
I don't
You know
have
what's
an
fucked?
Xbox, so I can't play it.
I've never completed New Vegas, ever. I've put so many hours into it, never completed it.
Really?
Ever.
It's
No.
it's a cool
No,
ending.
it seriously was one of the best games I've ever played. I don't know why. I just like dropped it after a while
Mhm.
and then just never picked it back
I
up.
think a lot of people would maybe say it's their favorite Fallout game.
Oh, it's easy.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
It's my
It
favorite,
is a
honestly.
close tie between 3 and New Vegas. 3 because I like the simplicity.
3 is a little dirtier.
New Vegas, yes, this is a little dirtier.
3 is just dirty. Fucking Megaton.
Dude, Megaton City. Dude, your house in Megaton, greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Actually, you know what I'm going to do is when I do this new run of Fallout 3, never done this and I'm going to finally try it. I'm going to do a diabolically evil run.
Oh, I've done that.
I'm going to do a diabolical evil run. The only thing I'm going to do nicely is the town of Megaton so I can get the house.
Mhm.
It's the only thing I'm going to do nice. But then everywhere else, I'm going to be a fucking tyrant, dude.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm going to come pillage, fucking kill, and all that shit.
You're a dirty
I
boy.
think he's here.
Oh.
I think
So when we were just talking, we were going over shit. There was actually a lot. I don't remember what the first thing we were talking about
it was a decent amount we were talking about.
Yeah. There was that case that you were talking about with that guy that you got reviewed. What was his name?
I cannot give his name
Can't give his name. Okay.
because it's an active it's an active case.
Oh, it's active.
still
right now.
active at this moment.
Well, yes and no. So essentially, what it boils down to is you see quite frequently online the whole thing of why men don't count towards consent when it comes to being intoxicated. So there's a meme. It's a poster that goes around. It's actually specifically from the 90s that says that if Jack and Jill go out and they both get drunk, why is it that Jill cannot consent? Well, it's a handful of things. But specifically, people go, well, this never happens. There's actually a story specifically that happened in Cuyahoga County up by Cleveland in which a man and a woman went out drinking. They decided to come home for the evening and he wasn't feeling good, decided, I'm going to bed. Well, she was a little randy, decided to do the dandy. He wakes up and he's being ridden and, he's not feeling well and everything else. He went to bed, could not consent, could not do anything. Well, ends up happening is that they end up having and getting separated. Well, she ended up having a kid as a result of that event,
night itself.
of that night. So they he goes to bed, he's not feeling well. She decides to come in, hops on, doesn't ask for consent. He's passed out, drunk. 9 months later, done. They have a kid. He doesn't want the kid, doesn't have anything to do with the kid. Unfortunately, his father's rights are specifically in a lot of states. He has no say. She gets to keep it. She actively they're going through divorce, separation. She admits to on the stand that.
Can I interrupt you? Can I interrupt you for a second?
Well, bite me. Are you a cannibal, Drew?
I might be.
Okay, we're going to call it there. Thank you, everybody, so much.
Good night, internet.
Good night, internet. Thank you so much for joining us.
Would I eat my own foot? Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Unless you're lactose intolerant.
There's thought behind it. You have to have thought behind it.
That's what we were just looking up. This guy ate his own foot, and he had to have it. Anyways,
so in fact, he did lactose.
now I get it.
He was lactose intolerant.
Yep.
You're.
And of course, Drew's late to the party as usual.
Yeah, that was quick. That was quick. No, but I do want to know, do you think that the man should have a say in whether or not a woman carries a child full term?
Well, it's a very complex situation. Myself specifically, as an individual, and it's something that wraps up in the whole sphere of things, is that I actually worked for the legislation for Ohio for women's reproductive rights. Mm-hmm. So I actually specifically worked with them to help put it on the ballot to get it passed. So specifically, part of that was there was a mutual understanding of, hey, it's not just a mother's right or a father's right, it's a family's right. And that child is indirect as part of that relationship and is an innocent life in all of it, regardless of what not to say is. Well, of course, as in traditional fashion, they said, hey, if you help us bring this legislation to pass, we'll put father's rights on the ballot. The immediate response to that happening was that they actually put a plan into place that would have allowed a woman to name up to 5 potential fathers and collect child support until paternity could be established in Ohio. Another representative decided to put a ballot on the box that would actually have allowed for forced vasectomies for fathers. It's a situation of that they want to tell you one thing and not another. So if you want to look at it as though it's a child's right, then both parents have a right to that child. You know, once that child's born, he's all of a sudden responsible, but has no say in it. But at the same time, you know, every state across the country has laws on the books called safe haven laws. It's a right to abandon the child. So if a parent, in most states it actually specifically specifies, if a parent or a representative of a parent, doesn't have to specifically be the mother, wishes to forfeit the child, they can leave the child at any firehouse, any hospital, any police station.
You mean like a parent?
It could be a parent or a representative of a parent.
No, I mean like a representative of a parent would be their parent. Like if they're underage having a kid, then your mom can be like, you have to give the child up.
It could be that. It could be an aunt, an uncle. It could be a friend. Because that is a hard choice. You know, leaving a child behind is a hard choice. So a lot of parents don't do that. So you know, in that regard, there are states that allow you to do it as little as a week and as many as a year. So if a mother has a year to go, you know, I want this Amazon return, I'm going to give it back because I don't want the kid.
Amazon return policy.
Yeah.
How common is that though? I can't see that being a very common thing.
It actually happens quite frequently.
Is there stats on that? Can we look that up, Will? How often?
How many babies get left at fire stations?
And then let's look up for the whole U.S. But I do want to get back to that case I don't want to forget about that.
So no, we'll go back to the case. That's not an issue. So specifically, when it comes to me, I believe that if you're going to institute a law on one side, that law has to be equal on the other. Mm-hmm. So if you can abandon a child, like in the state of Ohio, it's 30 days. You have 30 days to drop a child off at a safe haven box. So if a mother can drop a child off and give that, and mind you, it is free of legal and financial responsibility. Nobody can come back and sue that mother for anything. She's not responsible. She's not liable. As long as that child is safe, happy, healthy, and is deposited and is not malnourished or pre-existingly unalived, they can't do anything to that mother. She's safe. Mm-hmm. So, and mind you, the law is the same in the state of Ohio. So in the state of Ohio, fathers can also abandon a child. Mm-hmm. The difference is that it applies to both parents, that they cannot be held financially or legally responsible. Ohio, even though that is the law, the court precedent has said that if the mother wishes to then retain the child after that 30-day window, like she changes her mind or whatever, then she can go back and actually sue the father. Even if that father dropped off and said, nope, not mine, I'm not being responsible, the mom goes, no, I'll take it. Then she can sue for child support, even though that father had the right to drop it off without responsibility. Mm. That's the world that we live in.
Pretty double-edged sword.
Is that literally it is the law, and the state goes, well, best interest of the child supersedes the law.
Do you think that that's the right thing or the wrong thing? Because it sounds like you don't think it's fair.
But that's the thing. The law is not about fair. It's not about equal. Law isn't even about truth and justice. It's about the ability to build an argument, to create a narrative that you can paint that gets an emotional and illicit response from either a judge or a jury. You could have somebody that is is guilty as can be, but looks innocent. That gets that one little thing, whether it's if the glove don't fit, you must acquit, or that one little thing of, well, yeah, the kid's really, state age of consent is 16, so yeah, she may have been around with her student, but he's 16, so it's not great. Because it's fair because that's the age of consent, despite the fact there's law saying that when it comes to a power dynamic, it's 18, regardless of what the age is. So they get to pick and choose all these little things when it comes to the law. And just going back to the original case specifically, when you look at it, so the law is if you are intoxicated to the point you are unable to consent, you are then considered to be technically graped. When you look at it, in most states use the FBI DOJ
I see
definition.
the point of what you're saying now. I understand.
So when you look at the FBI DOJ definition, which actually was updated in 2012, prior to 2012, 0 men were able to be graped in the United States. They literally changed it from of a woman to the forcible penetration of the victim with a mouth, oral, or rear, regardless of how slight. So it requires the penetration of the victim to be considered grape. So unless you physically are inserting or entering the body, it's not grape. So this guy goes back and says, hey, she just admitted that she graped me. She said that I was drunk, passed out, and then now all of a sudden I got to pay for this kid. Well, the prosecutor didn't like being told to do his job. So when you really look at it, what it goes to do is he went back to the wife, the ex-girlfriend, and said, hey, he graped you because he inserted and you were drunk.
So it went back against him.
So he went to jail for an extended period of time. When that story actually blew up on TikTok, I actually knew the case specifically because I do various research, whether it's academic or collegiate or clinical, and I just happened to known about that case. So I actually got in contact. He actually got in contact with me through a third party and said, "Hey, I'm that guy." He's like, "I am the guy in that case. This is me. I'm in Cuyahoga County. Yada yada yada." We go back to the state attorney. We go back to the appeal court, and they say, "Look, this is the situation. The original judge ruled way back when that erection equals consent." Well, at the same time, the law has been the opposite way, which is
but you can have an erection.
Dude, my
when you
dick
wake
gets
up in the
hard when
morning.
I look at rocks, dude. Like, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean shit.
This is actually crazy though. So I asked Will to pull up these stats. Safe Haven stats unofficially recorded since 1999. Relinquishments 4,524 babies, but that's since 1999. And where's this coming from? HRSA.gov, so it's a government website. Illegal infant abandonments 1,610. Babies found alive 608. Babies
found dead or deceased 950.
There's more found dead than alive. Oh my god.
Well, and mind you, this whole thing, when it really comes down to the statistics, when you actually look at it, the safe haven law started, I believe, in Indiana, if I remember off the top of my head. So what it said was that there was an incident specifically involved in Indiana where a mother ended up leaving a child behind a dumpster at, all you American great breakfast place. And that ended up resulting in it saying, hey, if a mother cannot physically take care of a child, we want to be able to protect the child. And that's something I fully agree with. If there is a way to protect a child, I am never going to tell a parent that you have to raise a child that is not yours.
Yeah.
So they came and they rolled all of this money into the safe haven laws. And originally it was just, hey, we're going to do it at a fire. It had to be a hospital. Then it was a hospital or a firehouse because they have the EMS training to be able to take care of a child.
Yes.
And then they said, well, we're going to put these boxes in place. The boxes keeps it completely anonymous. And it has its own set of hurdles when it comes down to it. But when you look at it, it's keeping kids alive. And it's giving parents the right to say, hey, I had this child, I can't take care of it, whether it's for mental health, whether it is for, to do with an addiction, whether it's to do with abuse, whatever the case is. And they like to paint this giant picture and create this narrative of that all of these abandonments physically happen because of things like grape or incest. Mm-hmm. That's actually a very small percentage. A large percentage of them is actually things like infidelity. Gotcha. You have that kid, all of a sudden you realize, it's not my husband's. So instead of dealing with it, it's easier just to boop in the box. and it's out of sight, out of mind. So, only 5 states in the United States actually give fathers' rights, which means that if you actually
Kentucky's one, right?
Tennessee, Texas, I don't know if Kentucky is one when it comes to safe haven with fathers' rights.
Oh, not with safe haven.
No. I'm specifically looking at safe haven.
Okay.
When you look at it currently on the books, as it is kind of hazy distributed, 25 states, so half the United States has 50-50 laws on the books. I actually helped with Kentucky law.
And unfortunately, Ohio is not one of them.
No, despite Ohio actually leading the country in actually the family and father's rights, mental health, research, and psychology. So the majority of information that gets used when they go to court and say 50-50 is in the best interest of the child, the majority of that comes from Ohio. And yet we're one of the only states that has no 50-50 on the books. We are the one,
Yeah.
we are one, not only on top of that currently, and I implore people to go look at it, current Senate Bill 174 actually looks to weaken families, remove father's rights, expand the court's rights, remove and actually take away the child's right to choice.
But a father can go to court and fight for 50-50 custody.
Correct.
Or full custody.
Which you can. Now, mind you, in the state of Ohio specifically, we rank in the bottom 7 when it comes to father's rights. In fact, most fathers end up spending about 4 days a month. It's actually about 80% of the time or more is actually spent maternal. It's actually about 83% is maternal visitation rights. We are still, despite the fact that we promote ourselves as actually being a family-centered
Why do you
state.
think that happens, though? Do you think it's because of drugs or domestic violence? Like how does that even happen?
Well, when you look at it, part of it is the unwed mother rate. Mm-hmm. So in the state of Ohio, fathers to unwed mothers have 0 rights. They actually have to physically go back and and actually prove that they're the father and that they actually can be a good, fit, willing, and able parent. So your bar is physically up here when it comes to your requirement. Mm-hmm. So you have to prove you are the father and you are physically responsible, even if you don't know about it. Now, the flip side of that is when it comes to things like child support, you have to prove that you're the father to not be put on child support. So 100% financial responsibility.
And they also take almost 30% of your income.
Despite it, actually, in a lot of cases, fathers end up paying over 50% of their income after tax to child support.
Yeah. It's not a fun thing.
It's not. And hey, they got to get their bag some way.
Hey,
when you really look at it. So, when when it comes to the child support enforcement, the majority of the states actually follow a guidebook out of Colorado, in which the whole point is, as much as people don't like it, the states are running low on funding. It's why we see what we do when it comes to the state of Ohio with fraud in daycares, as well as, the cough era funds going missing. They need money. Now, because of Title 4D and why they're trying to put it through Senate Bill 174 is it actually gives them more realm to expand child support. It gives them the right to put more fathers on child support. The federal government will actually do about a 70 to 80% match. So for every dollar that you pay in Drew, the state is going to pay the state 77 cents. And that's not including all the extra stuff that they get. Like if she's on, any type of health assistance, SNAP, WIC, all that money comes from the federal government. Mm-hmm. So it's actually more than $1. So the more that they put you to, the harder they strap it, the closer they can get. And in the state of Ohio, they actually have something that's called judicial discretion, which means there's a worksheet. The worksheet says, hey, I should be paying 50 cents on the dollar for child support. They go, well, my discretion is, and the child's best interest is you need to be paying 75 cents on the dollar. So now all of a sudden you're paying over 50% of your income to child support. And then that means that they're getting that money back matched for use in other programs. Well, and a lot of it goes to paying their salaries. Their retirements a lot of times come out of those things. So the judges want money to retire on. Well, that comes from Title 4D. It's why when they started really digging down into it and you had the Department of Government Efficiency looking at everything, they really looked at it and said, this isn't efficient. Well, no, it's not. The whole point of the system is not efficiency. The whole point is to fund things, whether it's directly or indirectly into those situations. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it, the whole point of, well, you have to prove you're a father, you have to prove that you're not the father when it comes to child support, means that you get thrown out automatically. Legislation saying, hey, I can name up to five potential fathers and collect child support that whole time, including prenatal care. So guess what? you're all paying for the bill. Now it means that Title 4D is going to match all of that itself. So that's where it becomes very, very hard. And when you look at it, so many men do what's right. So you go, hey, I'm not feeling good. I'm going to bed. You wake up, all of a sudden, done. 9 months later, you have a kid. You're going to jail for rape, and you're now paying child support for a kid you didn't want. But the state says, hey, I got 30 days to give that kid away. On top of that, when you look at it, then you do things like, and I've got a friend of mine I went to high school with. He was a quarterback, and he did what was right. He decided to glove up. Went in, had threw his long bomb, wrapped it up, throw it away.
Through his long bomb. Hey, she was a good receiver apparently. She was such a good receiver. Wide receiver.
I don't know about a wide receiver. So she decided to dogpile in, pull out the glove, turn it inside out, and self.
Oh wow!
Because she had broken up with him and decided that the only way to save the relationship was to have
a baby.
Dun a baby. And unfortunately they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, so it didn't end up working out.
That's good.
And broke up anyway. Well, here she comes. She's now a angry, upset mother that has no father to take care of the kid. Sues for child support. And he's in court going, I did what was right. Well, the judge again says, hey, you had an erection. Ohio and most states are a pay to play, meaning that if you play, you have to pay. So even though he did what was right, because he didn't take it with him that night and decided to drop it at the sideline, he gets sidelined with the kid the rest of his life. So he's now paying for a kid till 18 that he actually took the steps to do. Ohio passed a SA law, physically stating that if you say, hey, I have a glove, and you take it off, which is called stealthing, it actually carries SA charges and actually potentially great. Here's the flip side of that. You decide to go out.
How could you even prove that in court, though? That seems like a very...
It could bust, it could break, it could slip. Unfortunately, as much as a lot of guys like to say, their end zone is not as big as they say it is, so there's a lot of extra space.
You're totally right about
that. You go buy a Magnum condom.
They're going in
working to 2 inches.
They're going in. They're going in for that big man package, and they're pulling out a 3x4.
Oh, that's amazing.
And all in this, on the long run, you're in a dime package, and you get a nickel back because that's all you get left over after child support.
That's fucked up, man.
But that's the society we live in. Unfortunately,
crazy to me, dude.
So you can do what's right in the situation, and you could just say, "Hey, I've done everything I've been taught. I went above and beyond to do what's right." But you end up meeting a girl. Hey, let's say you decide to go out, get in a bar. You say, "Hey, let's go back to my place." She says, "Well, that's good because I'm on the pill." Guess what? She's lying about it. You're still responsible. Doesn't carry the same weight. It's not grape or SA. You now have a kid too.
Oh, that's a weird double standard.
So
I didn't know that. Kid.
Yeah,
that's a good point too.
Correct. So on top of that, if you make a protection coverage balloon and something gets through, you're responsible. She intentionally causes it to fail by poking a hole in your defense, and guess what? You have a kid and you're responsible. Mm-hmm. That's the world that we live in. You could do everything that is right and still be wrong. Mm. And that is the narrative that they have built.
Fucked.
So if you go out and you're both drunk, only she can consent. If you both decide that you don't want a kid, but she just changes her mind, she can get the kid back and you're responsible. Oof. When you want the kid and she doesn't, you have no say. It's all about control, power, and privilege under the guise of oppression. So when you look at it, and a lot of things like to talk about this thing. So, everybody likes building these things of it's all men till it's no men. All men are villains. All men are bad. It's less than 1% of the less than 1% of the U.S. population when you look at reoffenders. It's actually 0.00083% of the male population are actually offenders. And it's because the majority of times you have one guy that's charged multiple times, has multiple victims, and they reoffend. But at the same time, when you look at it, do you know who Wade Wilson is? And I'm not talking about Deadpool.
I was about to be like, wait a minute, what? Like Deadpool?
No. Wade Wilson was a convict that actually was arrested for deciding to repeatedly progress and regress over a woman turning her brains into spaghetti. He's the guy that you saw on social media where he had tattoos and it was all over Book Talk. And they were actually, despite him actually unaliving multiple women, actually had women signing up petitions to the tunes of hundreds of thousands of signatures to actually have him removed because he was a bad guy, but he was hot and they thought they could change him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good old Wade Wilson.
That happened with Luigi Maggioni too, right?
Picture of this guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
Wait, that's definitely.
What do you have pulled up here? What is
a
this?
very Luigi
This was
Maggioni?
the Senate bill.
The 174.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go back and look at that. I didn't know you had that pulled up.
Wade Wilson, not Deadpool.
Yep, there you go. Smiling Joker.
God,
so he actually showed
I
up.
remember him. Yeah.
He showed up in a suit and then proceeded to say that GTA or whatever mainstream media thing actually stole his likeness because of the tattoo, despite the fact that the tattoo's been.
Oh wait, I remember this now. Yeah, because he tried to sue him, saying that one of the characters copied his tattoos or something. Dude, you're a fucking convict. You were lucky to even have a platform.
Yeah. So mind you, he unalived 2 people in Cape Coral, Florida.
And he got out of it?
He didn't get out of it, but they were trying to use peer pressure and social engineering to get him out of prison. There were actually women signing petitions, and he's a
handsome guy other than the face tattoos, but I mean, shit, he's not a bad looking dude. I can see why, a bunch of girls but if there was anyone that was going to have a bunch of girls, it would probably be him. Trying to get him out of jail.
Well, yeah, but that speaks to the problem is that unfortunately, when you look at things like dating statistics, about 20% of men get about 80% of the matches. If that's the match, how many people is he abusing? How many people are now saying that my ex is a narcissistic pain in the rear end? All men are narcissistic rear end pain in the rear end. Look who you're dating. Look who you look at. There was actually a story that
is something that I've noticed when I see posts on like Facebook or on any social media platform. I feel like the general narrative that women and men have are against each other.
Very, very much so, and that's all part of the narrative. Unfortunately, when you look at it, a unified people are a dangerous people because there's no way of controlling them. It's why after September 11, 2001, they had to do whatever they could to re-separate the country. The majority of people, whether it was left or right, were all back behind President Bush. And when you're telling people that everybody's behind Bush, they really are confused. But no, he actually, before he was considered to be a war criminal, was actually arguably going to be the best president in modern history because how he handled the events that happened. He's reading on stage and they come out and say, "Sir, a plane just hit the second tower." Mm-hmm. He doesn't panic. He doesn't have any issues.
I remember that video like it was yesterday.
He read through as to not panic anybody, then went to the war room and had to make decisions that changed the course of human history. Mm-hmm. But because all of a sudden, he unified everybody. The Democrats were losing power. You had a Republican as a mayor in New York with Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani.
When's the next time we're going to see a Republican in New York?
We'll never see another one, especially after the socialists.
What about that dude, Mondani?
Zoran Mondani?
Yeah.
So it's the complete opposite swing. So when you look at division, what they try to do is they try to pull you away. And they pulled New York away hard. Mm-hmm. New York has actually always been one of the 2 pinnacles. There's a reason that they call it East Coast West control. So the majority of the coast, whether it is New York or California, wants to control the majority of the narrative. So when you look at a lot of things, when it comes to fundamentalists, they want to implement that style blue chip control over everybody. And when you look at it, and what's interesting is, you had people like James E. Rockefeller. His wife actually believed heavily in psychology. Well, a lot of her principles went into psychology. So what happens? Well, all of a sudden you're like, well, men suck. Well, that happens to start infecting things. So when you look at it, they start getting things, and that's why you saw the expansion of things like soul-based matchmaking in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, because it was like, well, go find what's perfect. Nobody wants to. You don't have to settle. So everything has to be chip blue, diamond, perfect, polished when it comes to those things. So the best thing about it is when you have those individual things, you don't want to settle. So what ends up happening is women get in with men, they get complacent. There's no spontaneity. Men get comfortable. So they want that thing. So, that's remanifested itself where you get...
Wait, are you saying women do that or men get comfortable? Or both?
Men get comfortable. Mm-hmm. Men are okay with comfortable.
Yeah.
We are creatures of habit and routine.
Yeah.
Yes.
We won't even change the deodorant that we have. And I can tell because of that guy. He's been using the same deodorant since high school.
Is that true?
Is that
I've
true?
issued a couple times, but it's 2.
Honestly, yeah. I was about to say it's kind of been the same since degree stick.
Yeah, no, I use the same one.
Yeah,
degree stick.
Yeah,
That's it. I don't need any of that fancy shit.
And you may have gone to maybe bod spray.
I went to a spray. I did go to a dry spray for a little bit there, but then I was like, "This is stupid."
Like, and that's the thing.
Well,
We
can I
are creature
request
habits.
another rogue off you?
Oh yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Got a rogue.
Those are really good, by the way.
Am I supposed to roll for initiative? Nobody said we were playing D&D tonight.
Damn, this guy coming in with the references.
I am a DM, so if you want to, sure.
Yeah, he's
God
a DM.
help us.
He's got a +10 to his dexterity, so
thank you.
he. You know,
That's
threw
why
that
he's behind the
perfectly.
screen, apparently.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense.
You know what? That actually does make a lot of sense that you're like tech guy, and that makes so much sense.
He runs the show, dude. He runs more of this show than we do.
I know. Where would we be without you and these all this information?
I think he's a lot like me, which is that if we weren't running the show, we wouldn't be running at all.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
If I run down a flight of stairs, I'm out of breath. I'm literally there in a Deadpool because I'm dying.
Jesus Christ.
When it
This
comes
guy
to
with
the
the
podcast,
freaking
though-
singers, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. Man, shit.
When it comes to the podcast, though, I feel like we all own it. Like we've all put in our own
Our
effort
fair
into
share.
it differently. You know?
Yeah.
Like
So Drew just shows up.
to be fair, I started this whole thing. So there's that.
That is true. And I've told this story a million times to like so many guests.
I also bought almost everything in here. So
I remember the day he came to me and said, "Do you want to start a podcast together, dude?" And I looked at him dead in your eye. What'd I say? What'd I say?
Fuck yeah.
No, that is not what I said.
I don't remember what you said.
I said,
I should probably remember that.
I said, why the fuck would we do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had to
I was like, why the fuck would we do that?
I had to convince you.
You did.
Yeah.
You had to convince me.
And we started on a black couch, and people were like,
thought we were shooting porn.
Yeah, they were like,
Wow, chicka, wow, wow, wow.
No, it literally was like, because like he took a Snapchat of like the setup. We had 2 cameras on tripods on like the sides.
Is that
And
what
then
you call yourself?
We had, yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly what I call myself actually. Anyway, then we had
You fell
one,
backwards, Drew fell forward.
one straight in the middle.
Gay porn.
And he posted on his story. What was it? 10 minutes later,
I had like 5 people message.
5 people message. Are you making porn, dude?
Yeah.
You know, is that casting couch?
And then I asked I was like, maybe we should try to get in.
Maybe we should. You know,
Hey, if you're gonna butter each other's corn, that's on you guys completely.
I mean, shit.
No, but when we first started, it was more of like we didn't know like what we were doing at all, and I was like should we interview people? Should
I
we just
thought
tell
I
funny
knew
stories?
what I was doing, but
we had no
really didn't.
idea. But it just takes time.
Well,
you know?
it takes a little bit. I mean, one of the things that I actually did, and it's interesting. So, 2019, myself personally, I had just separated from my ex at the time, and unfortunately had issues. Well, unfortunately, 2020 was the time of the great cough. Achoo.
Achoo,
So
motherfucker.
my daughter came to me because, of course, she's having issues. She's lost her family. She's upset. She starts and finds the clock app and goes, "Hey, how about this?" And she's giving me videos. So I'm literally sitting and I'm watching the videos, and she starts asking me to talk about it. And what I realized as a father is that was her asking me to give her a voice.
Yes.
So I started my first TT channel, and I actually covered the story from Cuyahoga County. So I went to bed with like 3 followers and woke up with just short of 1 million.
That's
overnight.
Fucked.
So you go to bed, and it's a situation a lot of people know and a lot of understand. At that time it happened to be going around. It was the right time, right place, everything.
You
else.
just happened to jump on it when it was fresh.
I was actually before it. I actually covered,
really?
I covered the story before it. So my daughter gave me a video, actually very similar to that, and before that, and he got a hold of me and said, "Hey, here's my story. Will you share it?" It's like, cool. It's like, the only thing I can't do is I can't have you give my name or her name for legal reasons.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Get as close to that red line as I can do. So that other story pops up, about the poster with Josie and Josh or whoever it was, and not be able to consent. Well, somebody decided to search my video. Then somebody else decided to search my video, and somebody else started to search my video. That video had racked up millions of views.
Gotcha.
So the problem is that it posed a threat to the narrative control of that all men are bad and only women can be victims. So I caught, unfortunately, strays. So I had people coming at me and started reporting the video because it wasn't the fact that it wasn't true. It was the fact they didn't like what it was saying.
You hurt their feelings.
What you're saying, I mean, me, myself, going through, CSEA and going through the courts, it is astounding how geared towards women it is. And I'm not here to bash anyone. I don't want to come off like that. But it's the simple matter of, if I didn't go through it myself, I wouldn't understand like the gravity of what you're talking about right now. But it goes beyond just court. It's like a general narrative on social media, especially, where men are just bashed all the time.
It most certainly it is. And it actually goes back quite a ways. When you actually look at it, and it's interesting because if I was to ask you, when did women first start voting in the United States? What would you say?
Wasn't that 1964?
I already know the answer. I don't want to ruin it.
Mr. DM, roll a dice and ask. When did women first start voting in the United States?
And well, when you pull stuff up, you can tell me so I can look at what you got up.
Something for knowing Drew this long.
Did I say 19? I meant to say like.
You said 64.
Yeah,
1964.
That's
I get so involved in the conversation, I forget to look.
So the second link, which is the 19th Amendment, which is the most common situation that they refer to.
The suffrage.
The women's suffragette movement, which is that they actually did not get to vote.
Oh, I was way off.
Well, the thing is, the majority think that you're looking at the 30s and 40s. Women have been voting in American history since 1756.
Heard that.
That's before the country was a country.
Yeah.
You have a lady whose name is Lydia Chapin Taft. She was voting in Uxbridge, Massachusetts, 1756, and actually voted several times. They like to talk about things how women didn't have power, privilege. They didn't have things like resources. They didn't have bank accounts. They didn't have credit cards. Guess what? My family, who's been here since before the country was founded, didn't have credit cards either because credit cards didn't exist.
No.
They started with the Diners Club that happened actually in, guess what?
Holy shit.
New York. So when you really look at it, you have things like the women haven't been able to vote since 1756. They weren't allowed to have bank accounts. So what it actually looks at is men used to be the primary caregivers of the family. They were responsible. It was your responsibility as a father to take them into the world and show them what the world was.
Now we're getting somewhere.
So you get to work, you get to show them what it's like. You didn't have protection. So guess what? If your kid or your wife decided to break the law, it was your responsibility as the husband or father to make the situation whole. So you would go to jail if they broke something or stole something, or your responsibility to pay it back physically. And when you look at it, it's actually interesting because, they talk about women didn't have businesses. The largest owner of general stores in colonial America was Mary Alexander. She had a general store. And what she did is she actually leveraged her wealth to actually put people under crushing debt and actually take over their houses, their businesses, take over their general stores. That's how she became one of the largest general store owners, because she had all this stuff behind her. When you look at it, they were actually the British were actually weaponizing divorce and said, hey, if you're a sympathizer and you divorce your husband, not only can you have all of your family's property, you can have all of his property in this situation. So if you look at it, it's a lot like today. We are repeating things 200 years later. And when it comes to that, you're on the situation of they have the same rights, they have the thing, but they're telling you, well, we're going to import immigrants in here. They're going to give women the right to vote. It's actually interesting because states like Massachusetts, Maine, New York, New Jersey.
Before you go on, though, I want to touch back on what you said before, how men used to be the providers. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason why that changed is because now women can also be taxed. Like, I think our culture changed in a way. I don't know what the reason for that is. I think I heard it one time, but I don't remember. But now women can be taxed.
Well, so just like the cannibals, you cut me off of the feet. I was getting there. You got to let it develop there, Drew. So realistically, what it boils down to is that, yes, you are correct. So men used to be the primary caregivers. They actually were responsible. It's interesting things like, children will be children, which became boys will be boys, was actually perpetuated by colonial women to dismiss how negative behavior looked against women. Women actually were disenfranchised at the time. At the turn of the 17 into the 1800s, women were actually able to vote. They owned land. People like Thomas Jefferson, actually in states like New Jersey, were reducing the requirements for land in order to be able to vote. The majority of men couldn't vote. You had to be a landowner in good standing. And one of the great things about being in Ohio and Kentucky, and you can actually go look these up, is we actually have voter rolls from territorial Ohio and Kentucky, and they're actually separated. It's white men, white women, African American men, African American women. There was no cutoff. If you were a free African American, you could vote too. If you had land, you could vote. That was the only requirements. They started reducing the land requirements, giving more women the right to vote because they were able to buy those votes. They were bringing actually in French and German sympathizers, giving them land to buy the vote. Tell me if this doesn't sound like we're repeating this some 250 years later.
Oh, we're definitely repeating that history.
What ended up happening is there was an incidental case in which a son was upset that his mom lost their property. So he sued. Well, an incidental decision was that they were able to bring coverture from Britain to the United States, stripping the right of property away. And it didn't strip it away completely. It just said that if you're married, one person gets to be in control of the household. One person gets control of those things. So women were still able to vote. And actually what happens a lot of times, men, because they were away, especially in combat, in war, the War of 1812, women were still allowed to go vote under the name. And they would vote the way that they wanted to. Didn't stop things. But once the War of 1812 ended up capsizing, you ended up having situations where women were completely disenfranchised. They didn't have anything. Their mental health was suffering. So women were suffering in neocolonial America, leading towards the American Industrial Revolution, and they didn't have anything to do. Well, what they did is they said, hey, we need something to do. We need something to make us and give us a right and a will to live. So this is the situation between the difference between now and then. Back then, women say, hey, we are hurting. We need help. And they said, well, what do you want to be? At the time, women were masters of the house. They had people to cook, clean, and even take care of the kids at all times. So they didn't have to do anything. There was no hard manual labor. A lot of times they had the benefit of having other people to do it. Well, as all that started phasing out, they started losing that thing. So they had no want. They had no drive. So they said, hey, we're going to let you stay home with the kids. It's easy. It's simple. It's something you guys, and they loved it. So they passed the Tenured Years Doctrine, which led into the exceptions into the early 1900s with decisions in places like Oklahoma and Wyoming, in which they actually made it the law of the land. So it went from being the law of the father, being the actual man of the house and being the responsible, to it being the mother's arms are the safest. And decisions started disseminating into the 1900s, which expanded those rights. It expanded those things. Well, what ended up happening is, as much as people don't like to talk about it, prior to that, and we have letters from Thomas Jefferson, from Ben Franklin, George Washington, where it's talk about not forgetting the women, and they may not to. But the whole point is the majority of women were anti-suffragettes, meaning they did not want the right to vote because they did not want to be forced to serve in the military. They did not want the responsibility that came along with it. Well, what happened is women started becoming the majority when it came to statistics. They started becoming the majority in a lot of states. They needed the power. So here we are back again. States like Utah said, hey, we're going to give you the right to vote because we want to bring in women. We want to make them liberal and bolster our voting because they were suffering so hard at that time. So that's why it's suffragettes, because the Democrats were suffering. It was actually a way of actually canceling out the newly coined African-American right to vote. If you look at some of the letters talking prior to the passing of the 19th Amendment, you actually had people asking women, do you want the right to vote? And they said, no. Or it's not the 19th, I'm sorry, the 15th Amendment. Men could not universally vote until the passing of the 14th and 15th Amendments that created the federalized election. The majority of men could not vote. And that was because they understood, hey, we are going to put this in place in which you may be called to serve and you now have a responsibility. So if you are going to go to war, you have the right to choose who's going to be because you may have to go to war as a result. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, so they said, okay, cool. We want it. Women said, we don't want to have to go to war. We don't want that right. They started losing the power, and it kept degrading. They said, hey, we need to bolster our ranks. So they said, hey, we're going to build a suffragette moment. We need to erase the African American vote. They actually strengthened those things. It was actually built on the back of women of color in order to actually cancel out African American votes. So it was actually voting against their own wants and well-beings. That led to the
wait. You're kind of losing me. Wait, what went against it?
So they actually the suffragette movement
Yeah.
decided to exploit women of color to actually pass the right to vote for all women as a method of canceling out all people of color.
Okay.
So they were fighting against their own best interest without knowing it. Because they were like, hey, we are well educated, we're well off women, we now have all these powers and responsibilities and everything else, and they were given the right to vote without the responsibilities that had gone through it. So when you look at it, there was only about a 40-year difference between passing the 15th Amendment and the 19th Amendment. The women did not exclusively have the right to vote. Prior to that, depending on the state, you had the right to vote. It was state-based elections. They controlled who could vote. They could do everything else. It was not federalized. 15th Amendment, boom, men get the right to vote because you have to go to war. Women didn't want that right, so they didn't want the responsibility. We're in the same thing when it comes to kids, just flipped. So when you look at it, so they're like, hey, we want that. We want that. We're good to go. And they got the right without the responsibility. They don't have to go to war. They don't have to worry about it. Well, women now make up 80% of the voter base. They make up 80% in its actual active voters. They make up over 80% of the actual active voters. They make up over 80% of consumer decisions. They're in the world of power. So right now we're in a situation in a social narrative that's driven by division that says all men suck, all women are empowered, but they're oppressed. And it focuses on the very few things that they don't have, the very few privileges that they don't have, so that they don't focus on the powers that they do have. And when you look at female rulers throughout history, they always operate under the guise of something.
What are some of the powers that you think women don't have?
That women don't have?
Yes.
There is not a systematic power that women have that men do not. On the flip side, there are powers and responsibilities that men have that women do not have. Women have the power and privilege to be able to vote for an elected official that can enroll them in combat and not vote for them. Women, because they make up 80% of the voters, have the almost unanimous choice to be able to pick the candidate of their choice. If every woman went out there, because they make up the majority of the United States, they make up 168 million people in the United States. The majority of them are voter age, and the majority of them actually do vote. Fortunately, men, I will tell you that if you want to be able to make sure that things go away, you need to vote too, because as much as it stands, we, being creatures of habit, we like to work. We don't want to have to go vote. If you don't like where the world's going, go vote. Because it's a power and a privilege that they take advantage of that we have also that we don't use. But when you look at it, they have the right to have a job. They can have credit cards. They could have, monies, houses, everything else. Women now have the majority of houses in the United States thanks to divorce and widowing. They now make up, and as much as the Department of Labor likes talking about the 77 cents per dollar, that's applied across all incomes at levels. So if you have a waitress that's making, the minimum wage in her state's $2 as a server, and then you have a $100 million CEO, of course the average is going to skew down.
Yeah, it's very two extremes. I think now in urban areas, I think women make more than men now.
They do. They make between 103 and 108%.
Wasn't they're like so there was a Supreme Court decision. This is kind of backtracking, but thank you, Nick. This was just kind of hitting me. There was a Supreme Court decision that says that child support is unconstitutional. Have you heard about this?
Correct. So actually, there's been rulings saying that child support is unconstitutional because it's taxation without representation, and it actually equates to theft. The same decision has actually been reached when it comes to property tax. So if you don't like having to pay for your house, you don't like having to pay for your home, and you're upset because you get
Will's like, fuck yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck yeah, dude.
That's why.
Do you think anything's going to happen with that ruling though? Because it's state legislature for.
I mean,
for
taxation without representation was one of the
Those
key principles of our country.
It was the reason that we have the Boston.
It's the reason
Tea
that
Party.
we got the United States made in the first place.
And this is why I have an issue with a lot of this, because when you really look at it, the whole thing that they like to pretend that history didn't start until the passing of the 19th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
Women were fundamental in the creation and development of this nation. They helped. George Washington, actually, the majority of his spy network were women. They were nurses, they were aides, because they were allowed to pass between encampment and encampment and slide secrets around without being stopped. They didn't have to worry about, oh, yeah. He says he's a nurse, or he says he's a doctor. Maybe he's not. If you were a woman on the battlefield, pretty good chances. If you were part of the American Revolution, you were probably pulling double duty as not only a kick-ass person on the battlefield that was saving lives, you were passing secrets to help develop this country. And they like to ignore that. They like to ignore all of the protests that women actually did during the 1700s. They like to ignore all the progress that happened. They like to say that first woman to vote was in Utah. No, there was women voting long before that. They like to ignore all of the things. They like to ignore all of the power that they've had throughout history to focus on those individualistic things that they want, but they yet do not have. They want 100% of the power without any responsibility or accountability. So they want to be able to have the kid and want to be able to choose what they do with the kid. If they want it, well, the dad's got to pay for it. If the dad wants to be part of the life, he's got to fight for it. So it's this giant situation where when you get into it,
it's a very difficult situation.
It is a very difficult situation when you look at it, and it's why we have so many fathers that end up completing self-unalivings in those situations, because you have
and then also you look like a piece of shit if you don't.
Well, gee, thanks.
Not you, but I'm saying in general, you look like a piece of shit if you don't fight for it. Because if you're already getting paid, or if you're already paying for child support, and then you have to pay for a lawyer to go and fight in court, and then you're not even guaranteed 50-50, it's a lot to have to deal with. And then if you don't even try, because it's everyone has a different situation, right? So if I was lucky enough to be able to afford like a lawyer, but if you can't, then you just look like a piece of shit that doesn't take care of your kids and see your kids, and it's really geared against you. And then I feel like a lot of the hate from that situation comes from women themselves.
Oh yeah, because I hear it all the time. They're just like, "Oh, he doesn't want to take care of kid. He's a deadbeat dad." No, that's it.
But that's not always that is the situation a lot of the time. A lot of dads only do like every other weekend or whatever, and a lot of the cases like that, it might be true that they're like a piece of shit, but I think sometimes it can just be really tough on them, and they don't have the ability to fight for more time,
Well, and that's part of it. So when you look at the fact that they brought in the New York values into psychology in the 1960s and 70s, well, that all of a sudden said that they needed to do soul-based matchmaking, which part of that to reinforce it, to help cover the sting and the fact that children were missing their fathers. They started infiltrating psychology with this whole idea that fathers were replaceable. So all of a sudden, in the 60s and 70s, fathers went from the Huxtables and even in the 90s. Really, the only good fathers that were of Caucasian depiction were like maybe a Tim Allen, but even then, that was still a comedic depiction. There really weren't that good at the time.
You talk about Home Improvement?
50. Home Improvement. Yes, correct. So when you look at it, you had Phil Avery, who was Judge Philip Banks on, so still a good father. Huxtable, which was Family Matters, still a good father. Yeah. But you had lost the things like Family Matters. You lost all those good Caucasian representatives because they wanted to say, it's okay it's okay. The kids will survive. The kids are strong. They're fierce. They are resilient. That is one of the least popular things I hate when I'm doing research, is that kids are resilient. No, you decided to, by prioritizing yourself, to destroy the entire development of that child's world. That child has known two parents, has known those things. When you look at it, divorce rate's very, very low. Everything else, you were looking at very good on progression. You had very good family cohesiveness. Everybody wanted, a mother, a father, two kids, two cars, a TV in every room was the ultimate thing. And part of that was they said, well, fathers are replaceable. You can be replaced by a coach. You can be replaced by somebody at school. You can be replaced by somebody at church.
Maybe a grandfather.
You are replaceable. So that started the war at that time. And it was like, well, men are oppressive. Men are pigs. And now it's turned into the fact of that you have these people, and by people, I mean women, they're going back and telling their grandmothers and great-grandmothers, well, your husband was abusive. Great-grandpa was They don't talk about the fact that yeah, he may have been yelling, but I guarantee if he was in the kitchen, he was running from a pot coming at the head. A lot of that thing. So there was a lot of mutual abuse. And even back then, it wasn't a thing of what they picked of, the honeymooners and stuff like that, where it's like, Ricky. No, that stuff didn't happen. It was really a very mutual thing. And in fact, when you look at statistics today, over 50% of all relationships are domestically violent. They are both mutually violent, which means one hits another. But at the same time, when you look at unreciprocated violence, 79% of it's perpetrated by women. It's the majority. And what's interesting, because you said something about having to fight and being a POS. That's the narrative. You actually, without knowing it and without realizing
that was my point,
regurgitated the narrative of saying, well, you're a POS. Well, instead of asking her, why does he have to fight at all? You make him fight. And if he doesn't fight, the majority of fathers are told to walk away.
I have realized after going through this process that you have to have your shit together your shit together to a certain level. Like you were talking about a bar. You have to be at a certain point in your life to even have rights to your child. Because if you don't make a certain amount of money, you can't buy the rights to your child. You have to buy them.
Yeah,
there's no way around it.
There is no way, because they get to be the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
They control the outcome. They control the decision. That decision does not end up changing with those things. So you say that the father who doesn't fight is a POS. You jack up the price. Counties and states make a ton of money from domestic court. That's one of the other ways that they bolster their amount of money, is by running cases through court. So they want them to be long drawn out. What they don't talk about is the fact, according to the U.S. Law Center, 91% of fathers request some form of custody. Because what they like to do is they like to dilute the number. And this is where I get to do my stuff about research, because when you look at it, they like reporting all cases. Well, the majority of cases don't have children part of it. A lot of times they're either aged out or there's no kid. Or worst case scenario is the kid's not yours. And guess what? In the state of Ohio, you're paying for it, because if you're the father, you're stuck paying if even it's not yours.
This is something crazy that I realized too. For every 90 days that you have your child support is only lessened by 10%.
It's interesting how a lot of things,
insane. That means that you could have 50-50, but you still have to pay the mom. And this is Ohio. This isn't the case in Indiana and Kentucky. But in Ohio, even if you have 50-50 and the mom makes less, you still have to pay her a shit ton of money. It's insane.
I hate to tell you, and unfortunately, because one of the most common things when I'm out there doing the legislation for 50-50, when I'm out talking to representatives, whether it's from Butler County, Warren County, Hamilton County, and talking about 50-50 legislation, there's always women's rights groups there. I've gone to Columbus. I've done tons of talks. I've given research. I've given testimony. I've worked with some really, really good people that work in the father's rights field in 50-50. One of the most common things that gets regurgitated as a narrative point is that the father only wants 50-50 because they don't want to have to pay. They ignore the fact that even if you have 50-50 or even sole or primary custody in Ohio, you could still be paying child support.
No, you do have to.
Yeah.
If the mom makes less.
No, even if she makes more, and you have 50-50.
I didn't know that.
The majority of court cases, about 51% of cases are done by mutual decision. And as a father, and you may have been in the situation, you may not have been. If you were told that you either get 4 hours every 2 weeks, or you get 50-50, but you're paying $1,200 a month, which one are you taking?
I don't want to answer that. That's a hard question.
No, Drew, it's easy. And one of the things is
because it makes it seem like you don't care about the child. But the thing is that, like, how can you be expected to take 50-50 of a child and also still pay that much money? Because then you're paying for the expenses of the child when you have 50-50. It makes it unsustainable.
It does make it unsustainable, and that's what they count on. They count on degrading your resources down, and that's why they it's every 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, depending on your court case.
I'm going to give you a call tomorrow, Michael. This is good stuff.
This is great.
You could come to work on a weekend and be like, "Hey, I'm going to pick up a few hours," but no, I got a new job.
Oh,
this is why he's been upset
out
with me
on the podcast and everything. Good.
Yeah,
I work two jobs plus do all this other stuff with legislation and social media and everything else, and do all this stuff. And I'm a father that spends over 50% of the time with my father.
The reason why I wasn't going, or that I started working at Batteries Plus is because I'm going through the court process. That was basically the reason. I was
trying to get your children back.
How can I manage, going to court and trying to have time with my child when I have a second job? I was just like, I don't think I can do it. That's just my personal choice.
It's hard, and I respect that as a personal choice. And at the same time, I always tell people that one of the things that we have to do as men is hold each other accountable. And why didn't you do better? And that's kind of the part. And it's not meant to be degrading in the situation, but when you look at it, everybody's situation is different.
I know that is what they say. Why didn't you do better?
Yeah.
I can't stand that shit.
Oh, exactly.
I can't stand it.
Why didn't you do better? Well, I did everything I
fuck
could.
yourself.
And this really is what the situation is the fact of that, you could have, when you're a father and you're faced with, hey, you can have 4 hours every 2 weeks, or you can have 50-50.
I don't think it would even get to that point though, unless you fail a drug test or something. There has to be a reason why.
The state of Ohio actually has worksheets on what is acceptable. So depending how old you are, it's why the majority of divorces take place before the kid usually reaches the age of 6. By them putting force and telling, unfortunately, the social pressure. There's a whole research study that's called Misery Begets Misery, which is the fact that a woman's social circle and whether or not that they are married or divorced is going to determine the outcome of that relationship. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and that person hangs out with divorced people, the majority of the time she's also going to end up divorced because she's going to be taught into cheating, infidelity, going out all the time, or filing for divorce. So when you get in those situations of that, you're going to be losing the kid, and you get broken, battered, used, abused in the court system, and you're running through tens of thousands, or in my case, $100,000 between 3 attorneys to get 50-50 custody. And beforehand, from the time that my daughter was born to the year that she turned 7, so the first 7 years of my daughter's life, I did not miss a single day. I was the one who picked her up, took her to school. I was the one who woke her up, got her fed, changed her. I was also doing the cooking, the cleaning, doing all the car maintenance, on all the mowing, and letting my spouse at the time go out and literally go out to karaoke 7 days a week. She was having an affair behind my back. I found out Christmas Eve 2016. And on top of that, I'm doing her schoolwork. She's going to school and I'm doing research. I put 140 hours in research on using nanorobotics to induce an anti-abuse-like effect in order to fight the opioid epidemic. Using sunflowers and phytoremediation to help the Indian people. Like that's the type of stuff that I'm doing. So I'm doing the work. She's going out, and then we're having those situations and everything. And it's like, well, hey, this isn't fair. And I finally I got to put my foot down, and everything else. And it's like, hey, I found out beforehand, never had a heart problem in my entire life. I was wrestling professional wrestling matches. I was going out running around with my daughter, spending everything open to close. I was having my daughter come to me and go, why isn't mommy home? Missing because never saw her. She only worked 3 days a week. I was at home being a full-time father and working full-time as a manager of Batteries Plus, and I was putting in about 120 hours every 2 weeks, running the store in those situations. And then my world...
Running multiple different stores.
Running multiple stores, going multiple locations, doing field installs, all of this stuff. I find out Christmas Eve that gets a text message from her boyfriend. He's like, when are you going to let me put this baby in you? Started having heart problems. Never been completely asymptomatic since then. Me, for the benefit of my kid, is like, hey, I'm going to I'm going to try to make it work. 2 years later, another affair. She decides that she's going to, threaten to unalive us, unalive herself, everything else. Drives my daughter into it, and then we do this thing where she's like, hey, I want you to have a TikTok. So I make a TikTok and everything else. And I'm going through this court fight and everything else. And everything I say and everything I do is under scrutiny. Doesn't matter that the videos that I'm covering and the stuff I'm doing is at the request of my daughter, who's hurting, that's trying to piece her world back together. Because everybody was telling her that it's okay to sacrifice your family as long as you're happy. But they're telling men that men are expected to sacrifice themselves to make everybody else happy, because men are expendable. Yeah. Same reason when it came to the right to vote, we only got the right to vote universally in the United States with the 15th Amendment because we had to be willing to sacrifice our lives. In that situation. Now we're in that situation. I was told by the court that I should just walk away. I should walk away from a kid that I had never not spent the day with. That I should just leave so that she could have all the power and the choice, and then
Why did the court tell you that, you think?
Because they said it was in the best interest of the child.
But why? Because
it's easier for them. They get if I walk away, they can institute any amount of child support. It's unanimous. There's no fighting. They get to run up court fees without me having to pay, without having me be there. They can make whatever decision that they want in those situations. And they said, walk away.
So to end this on a positive note, do you have any advice for anyone going through situations like these? Or do you think that there's going to be any changes in the future?
It starts with you. Lincoln Park said, it starts with you. And
It starts with one.
Yeah. And risk what it boils down to is it starts with you. If you know what it's like to go through it, I know what it's like to go through it. And, there are
And it's fucked up.
There's hundreds of thousands of men around the United States that have all gone through it. On top of that, there are women, and please, for the love of God, men, do not dismiss them. Women are the biggest asset that exists when it comes to bringing ongoing, sustainable change. This goes back to my original point, which is that the emotional narrative of everything is in control. When a woman cries, people notice. When a man cries, nobody gives a crap in those situations. So you are literally those women that see you as a husband, a stepdad, a brother, an uncle, that have seen what you go through to be part of your kids' lives. Do not dismiss them. Do not humiliate them. Do not make fun of them. They are the biggest asset that you have. And that's why when I was doing the men's rights stuff on TikTok, I appreciated the stuff like Emily W. King and Roma Army and Davocate, Manicured Mom, Reclaiming Your Voice were doing, because they were women, but they were highlighting men's problems, whether it was mental health or the court system. All of these things weigh on men. When you're told that you mean nothing, when as a man, you are literally looking at it, that you're broken, battered, used, abused, discarded, dehumanized, demonized, and that you have no value, it literally leads to us on an estimated, unadjusted 120 to 150 men a day that are self-unaliving. It starts with, as much as we have been told, and it's not been our fathers telling us to sacrifice everything. A lot of times it was our mom. Our mom said, well, you need to sacrifice this. You need to sacrifice to be the man of the house. You need to be sacrificed to do this, to do this. So it was actually the matriarchy impeding the fact that men should sacrifice themselves on things, not the patriarchy, the matriarchy that said to sacrifice everything. It's not. You need to realize that you have value as you are, as a person, as an individual. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it suffers. Yes, everybody has problems. Everybody's going through something similar to you. You are not the only one. The whole point is that they want to isolate all of us to make us feel like it is you and the six of him and everybody else in those situations. They want you to do that. They want you, like when they say, hey, just walk away, you feel like nobody's going to help and that you will walk away. That when somebody, is in a situation, they walk away. And what we're seeing in society today is that men are walking away. The majority of men, first time in history in the United States, not dating. The majority are okay being single. Find yourself. Work on your own mental health. If you have an individual that says you need to be emotionally vulnerable, you need to learn how to be emotionally intelligent. They are two different things. Vulnerability can be weaponized. Intelligence is the understanding. And this is something all our fathers did. When they say, don't cry, your father told you not to cry. It wasn't saying not to cry. It's what he really means is to not cry right now. To understand there is a time, a place, a way, and a person to be vulnerable with. So when it comes down to it, and you'll see this happen all the time in social media, you'll see men say it happened. As soon as they opened up, as soon as they had a problem, mental health problem, whatever the case is, within 2 years, divorced, broken up, split up for being vulnerable. It's about being intelligent. It's about knowing who you can be open to, who you can express to. As much as it happens and people like to go, well, it's a men thing. Every time I've ever had an issue with situations, and even when we work together, if you were having a bad day, how often were we, as I was trying to lift your spirits and joke and have fun?
Majority of the time.
Because I knew he was bothering you. And then you would address it in the situation you had. And that's how I found out, hey, I'm having personal issues and I'm going through court. And that's when we bonded, because we were both in the situation. You found out what I was going through. And that's what led us to bond, because it wasn't because I wasn't telling you not to cry. It was I was getting you to express your emotions in a way that you were comfortable with in that situation, in that moment, at that time, in a safe, healthy way in those things.
Which is not talked about with it's hard to express yourself as a man. It's very hard to express yourself to anyone. So when you find a kindred spirit, it can lift you up for sure.
Oh yeah, no, most certainly, and that's one of those things, lift each other up, lift your brothers up, lift one another up. Do not fear women. It's not a situation. Most women, especially when it comes to the men's rights movement, are helpful. They want to do these things. They want to help get 50-50 on the books. Call your senators, do your research, look at Senate Bill 174. Do not do what they're actually telling you to do and just read the notes and in the testimony from them, look at the actual people like Mark Ludwig, who's out here testifying, who has helped pass legislation in so many states. Look at Davocate, who's Lauren. She's an amazing woman. And I know we go back and forth on social media sometimes because, I don't always agree with everything she says, but she does a dang hell good job in those situations. Lift those brothers up, make sure that they're not blind, because you may not have a kid now, but all it takes is one night of you being drunk, waking up in the middle of the night with your woman writing you and decides you want you that she's going to keep it. That all of a sudden now you're finding yourself going to jail for grape, just because you had one bad night.
Yeah.
So lift your brothers up, listen to each other, help enforce everything. Do not be afraid. Do not be scared. And for the love of God, it is okay to be a person. You are human. Do not let them treat you like you are not human, like you are a vile, evil creature. You are human. And we are we are always told to be right by each other. And that's part of it is, do what's right for everybody. Do not necessarily do what's right for an individual. And that's what we've done throughout history. We've done a good job of literally lifting everybody up. And when somebody says, I hurt, when it was women, we did things like the tender years doctrine. When they said we hurt, we helped get women's rights passed. Even if it was, even if there's issues with people saying whether or not it's a good thing. Now men are saying, hey, we hurt. And we're being told to sit down, shut up, and remove ourselves from the situation. We're being told we have no opinion because we spent the majority of the time. Well, we don't have the majority of power in the United States. And that's why, unfortunately, we're heading the way that we are. We are currently in the symptoms of the situation that we are. And, it's okay. You focus on mental health. Men's mental health is a 365-day-a-year thing. And do what's right.
Yeah. Well,
hell yeah, man.
Help your brother. Don't eat them.
Don't eat them. Help them.
Michael,
is there anything that you want to plug, Michael? No, we got
yeah, I was going to ask, do you have like TikTok or anything you want to plug?
I have Be a Father 365, which is about being a man, a brother, a father, and not even to your children, but to your community. Help raise and elevate the things, whether it is going out and volunteering at a boys and girls club, whether it is just spending time to talk to kids. And don't do it in the creepy way where you're going to don't pull them in a white van and go, hey, I got candy. I got candy back here. One of the things that I do currently is, throughout the year, I run a program called Kings or Kids. It's Kings Independent Discovery Social. I volunteer time to go out to a local amusement park and chaperone kids because they would rather their parents, traditionally the mother, is fine spending $99 a year to be able to drop them off and ride roller coasters and not raise them so that they can do those things. And those kids hate it. It gets to be that's why you see so much disturbance and everything else. So, volunteer, do those things, be a pillar in the community, show the civilization and society that the image that they have built, the narrative they've created and controlled, and they've curated of men as being these horrible monsters, that it's all men, is false. Hold your brothers accountable. If they're out joking and laughing and having fun at somebody's expense, if they're doing those rude locker room jokes and it's not in the locker room, tell them to stop. Don't go out and let if you're out at Texas Roadhouse and he decides to slap the waitress's butt, you slap him full bore.
Yeah,
I'd punch the shit out of you if you did that. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think I would do that, but I would. I wouldn't be mad at you for it.
Yeah, you'd be having to check the pail for Drew's nuts.
That's right. Well, awesome, man. Hey, thank you so much, Michael, for coming on the podcast with us. You can find him on TT as well as IG.
It's TT. That's the only thing I got.
TT, that's it.
Yep. I shut most of it down. I would say if you can, go follow the Roma Army, go follow Davocate, go follow Mark Ludwig, go follow Mannequin Mother, go follow Reclaiming Your Voice. The Men Need to Be Heard, Squirrely Girl. There's a lot of current ones that are really, really good. Unfortunately, I had my voice stripped from me by the domestic court with threat of jail for talking about the situation and having a platform. And that's what a lot of fathers face, is that they get deplatformed. So a lot of fathers have issues. We just can't talk about them because we can go to jail. And that's the situation that a lot of us face.
That's fucked up.
It's a non-disclosure agreement.
On this episode on How Fucked Up Is Fucked Up, that's fucked up. Not gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah, no, it is the society that we live in. Everything else. It's great to know that the society's built a world in which you can go to Walmart and get filled up in the meat section and have your sausage grabbed, and then when you get mad because you're actually expressing boundaries as a man, that you get told, well, if you didn't want it to happen, you shouldn't have worn gray sweatpants in public.
Double standard.
And that's the situation that we got to address, is fixing those things, fixing those standards. And we do it by fixing ourselves.
Yeah.
Very much so.
If we eliminate the standard, there is no double standard.
Very, great way to end that right there. Everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Once again, we are on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. Check us out on there as well as YouTube if you're watching it here, or check out our Patreon. $5 a month. Check out our Patreon. We'll have exclusive access on there. And yeah, that'll do for us here at the Eagle Boys. Once again, Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Does that mean you guys have an OF too?
Yes. Actually, check us out on OF.
That's where your
foot picks,
bruh.
The Eagle Boy foot picks. We call them talons. Okay, it's called Eagle Boys Talons. OnlyFans. It's real nice stuff. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and we will catch you all on the next episode.
See ya.